over time, it is the inputs made by the members of civil society who observe elections that we have factored in the conduct of elections and improved on them. The Commission has been very concerned about the upsurge of violence in our elections. And this concern is informed by one or two things. One, violence diminishes the quality of elections. Violence diminishes the lives and the quality of lives of persons who participate in elections. And whenever there is violence, you discover that elections are not concluded on the first ballot. We always have to go back and conduct elections at polling units where there were disruptions. And that is at huge cost, not only to the election management body, INEC, to the politicians who are contesting the elections and the political parties, to the civil society organizations and the media that are observing and reporting the conduct of the elections, but also to the taxpayers whose monies we always have to invest in the conduct of these elections.
In Ondo, over 157 cases of violence was recorded during that election, and the same goes for Edo. So it shows that we need to really step up. And of course, the election was adjudged peaceful, but with our record, with our findings, a lot of violence took place. Most especially, there are some that are psychological, there are some that are physical harm, there are some that are murder. People died in that election. Some even INEC officials some INEC officials were shot during the election. All of them were properly documented in the report. So, but we are using this opportunity avenue to call attention to the for the government to make sure that henceforth, like what we have done is to see that most of the electoral offenders are prosecuted duly, because most when you don't prosecute them, now they grow wing and come back with full force and do it with impunity next time. And again, one of our recommendation again with what we have seen is to begin to look at a special electoral court that will undo this, that will look into swift prosecution of cases, so that people can be brought to book.
As we all know, election violence is distinct from other organized violence. And in a country that is as vulnerable as Nigeria, so it has some political context that we need to take cognizance of. So the issue of mitigation of electoral violence then becomes very important. So electoral violence could also kickstart some form of war, some form of disturbances that could actually lead to breakdown of law and order. And we are also aware that electoral violence does also not happen in vacuum, that it also happened as a result of politicking, elite intervention, and a whole lot of other things. So it's important for us to have a good understanding of what we need to do as a people, as a country, to respond to electoral violence. I think Nigeria needs to go beyond what we do presently to address electoral violence. So electoral reform is very key, but we need to do the needful to ensure that we save our election from the violence that has been part of the history of our election.
Violence anywhere, at any time, is wrong and should not happen. But in particular, violence in elections is dangerous. It could be provocative and could lead to larger conflict. It could also derail the credibility of the electoral process. It could lead to people losing confidence in the outcome of election. It could corrupt the outcome of the elections.